Alright, so I'm revisiting the T450s, so I already took all the screws out and everything. If you want to see how to remove this, I have another video already showing that. So anyways, I noticed one thing here is that after I put the SSD, there was another SSD showing up and I couldn't find it anywhere here. I looked online, I've seen someone put an SSD in this slot, which I guess you can put like a NVMe SSD or something in here, or at least that's what I saw online. But underneath this battery, so let's go ahead and show this because I didn't remove the battery last time. Okay, so we're going to use a PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. Let's go ahead and remove the battery screws. Again, you want to keep them in order. They are different size, shape, and lengths. So I'm just going to put them on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got these 3 screws here. Okay. Alright, let's actually disconnect the battery as well just to be safe. So we're going to remove those screws, then we're going to go ahead and lift the battery up here. Okay, it looks like it's actually stuck. What is it stuck on? Is it stuck on this speaker? That's weird. Okay, I don't know why there was some adhesive stuck to there. But anyways, let's go ahead and remove this battery connector here. So the battery, I just use my fingernails at the wings of this connector and you just kind of wiggle it as you pull it, and there we go. We got the battery out. So there's actually more model information here. So they got the model numbers here as well. Okay. The part numbers, ASM part number and FRU part number. Okay, so we're going to remove that battery. Then we got this little thing under here, okay? So we got this connector here going for the SSD. This has a little latch. You can pull this up and you can pull that out. I'm going to leave that in there for now. We're going to see what's under there. I think that's where the SSD is because I looked at pictures of the motherboard, the other side of the motherboard, and I did not see any sign of an SSD or anything. So let's go ahead and remove the screws for the speaker here. Alright, once we do that, we can lift the speaker out and we're just going to swing it out of the way for now. Alright, it looks like this metal piece goes underneath this, so let's go ahead and remove the 2 screws for this as well. There's a lot of screws in this thing. Okay. Okay, now that we got those 2 screws out, you can see this metal plate comes out. Take that aside. Then we'll remove the 2 screws down here. Okay. Keep track of all these screws. Again, they are different size, shape, and lengths. If you mix them up, you can damage things. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove those 2. Now let's see if we can lift this up. Okay, be careful because this cable is attached here. Right, I'm going to slowly kind of lift this up and pull that out of the way. And I was right, there's an SSD under here. So I think this SSD is actually causing problems. This is an M.2 SATA SSD. So it's kind of weird. I didn't know they were hiding an SSD in here. Let's go ahead and remove this. Also using the PH1 or JIS1 screwdriver. Right, and I'm just going to take this SSD out because it's causing issues. So we're going to take this SSD out. They're just using that for like cache storage. It's not actually storing any data on it. Right, that was a 16 gig SSD. We're going to put this screw back in here just so the customer has that if for some reason they wanted to use one of those SSDs. Again, it is just a SATA SSD, so it's not going to be any faster than the 2.5-inch SATA hard drive that's over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these screws back now. I was so confused as to where that SSD was. Most likely, if you remove the SSD, it's going to have issues booting now. But we're going to see what happens when we try and start it up. Alright, let's put this metal thing back on here. Okay, get all of that line back up. So they have this tray. I think this this slot that they have here can double up as multiple different things, but on this specific model, they use that slot for an SSD, which is pretty interesting. And this isn't a standard size M.2. I don't know if they label what size it is. 16 gig. Yeah, I don't know what the size model of, but it's those half-sized ones. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are for it, but if you're curious, you can look at the size and compare it online and look for this type of SSD if you really want one of those. All right, so let's go ahead and swing the speaker back over. Get that line back up. Okay, let's go ahead and put the speaker screws back in. All right. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna put the battery back in. All right, reconnect the battery connector down here, just get it lined up. And then pinch the two pieces together, just like that. Now we'll get this back into place. All right, get that cable back in as well. Line that up. All right, let's go ahead and put back these battery screws, and then let's go ahead and power this thing on and see if it's gonna boot. So I did clone over the old hard drive to the SSD here. So it does have the data from the SSD, or from the old hard drive. But we'll see if it actually starts up properly. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and put the bottom cover back on. All right, so the bottom cover goes like this. You want to get the bottom angle in first. Get this screw in. I'm most likely going to have to reinstall Windows on it, but we'll see. All right, let's get back all these screws. All right, go ahead and make sure everything is snapped in place and finish putting back all the screws. Go. Why is this screw not going down? It's all lined up, so that's kind of weird. Well, let's make sure everything is snapped in. Tighten that down all the way. Tighten this down all the way. And this one. Huh. I don't know what's going on here. This one screw is just spinning around. Everything is lined up. I guess the screw mount is probably bad. Okay, well, I'll leave that there. Let's go ahead and slide the battery in. Let's power it up and see what happens. Before it kept complaining about the SSD, let's go ahead and see what happens now. Okay. It might take a bit to boot. Hopefully it's gonna boot okay. Is it on? I see the green light is on. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Is it gonna boot? Is it gonna do anything? Looks like it's not doing anything. So most likely going to have to reinstall Windows again. But here you go. You can see Windows. Let's open the Kingston. Nothing happens. Windows Boot Manager. Nothing happens. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reinstall Windows on here. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right. Let's drop this spike.